How many of us here know the fruits Cola lepidota? Anybody here? Cola lepidota? Okay. How many of us here know the fruits India, as it is called in Efuk? I can see my friend rolling her eyes. She's like very typical of Sandra. Okay, so a couple of weeks ago, I attended a friend's event. And while I was seated and just trying to enjoy the atmosphere and the activity that was going on, I had this lady walk up to me. And the first thing I noticed about her was her very warm smile, her charm, and her branded T-shirt, and she had a carry-on bag. And when she approached me, she asked nicely if she could sit down, and join me, and I let her. And while she was seated, she told me about the product that she had in her carry-on bag. So apparently, she had repackaged these fruits that we call Ndia, nicely sliced, refrigerated. It was very cold, well packaged in a clear bag, sealed with her brand on it. And I could tell, as a very frequent buyer of Ndia, that we didn't have, or she didn't have, up to 9 pieces of Ndia in that sealed bag, right? And so she told me about the health benefits of these fruits and how much I was going to enjoy it in this format. And so I told her, okay, so let's cut right to the chase. How much is this product? And she said 4,500 naira. 4,500 naira for Ndia that we would normally buy 500 naira or 1,000 naira in the market. But here's the thing. She was very convincing. She had already sold me with her understanding of the product. She had sold me with her warm approach and her charming smile. And I looked at this package and I asked myself, this is one of the reasons why I don't like attending events. And so I was moved to make the purchase. So I bought 8 to 9 pieces of Ndia for 4,500 that I would probably buy in the market for 1,500 naira. I would like you to take note of these points. This woman, one, had the power of persuasion. She was able to convince me to spend 3 times more than I normally would on the fruits. Secondly, she had solved a problem. What was this problem? The hassle of going to the market to buy the fruit, probably even searching for it, is quite scarce around here. Cleaning it up and slicing it, it's one of the hassles I don't like to deal with. So she solved the problem, she had the power of persuasion, and then she was at the right place. She knew where her target audience and demographic would most likely be, and she was certain that if she approached a woman who was nicely dressed like me, I wouldn't debate on how much I would pay for that product. Marketing is a powerful tool used to create a desire in consumers. It is so powerful that it can produce an impulsive reaction. And that was an impulsive reaction for me. I didn't go there to shop. I didn't go there to buy anything, but she was able to persuade me into making that purchase. At every stage in your business, marketing is essential. Whether it's a small, medium enterprise, a multi-million-dollar company, no matter how good your product or service is, it cannot sell itself. There's no miracle that would happen. I would use my brand Leiush as a case study, right? So in December, we are turning 9 years in operations in Cross River State and 1 year in operations in Abuja. I would like to say that content is king. I'm sure we've all heard that popular saying. Content is king. Content is the new oil. And content is in different forms. It can either be in format of video, commentary, pictures, but in my opinion, content is the modern day marketing. Content is not something you can feel or you can touch. It's in digital form. So whether your business is in physical operations or online operations, you are required to build content. And your content must be engaging. Your content must be shareable. Your content must be captivating enough to build a community of followers. Your content is what is doing the marketing for you. Many times I've visited Instagram pages that I probably would want to make a purchase from, but when I open that page and I don't see captivating content that proves to me that this person deserves my money, I go elsewhere. And there's no two ways about it. Iconic brands like Coca-Cola, who have been in existence long before some of us were born here, have been marketing and creating content for as long as we've lived. They're partnering with the big names, they're partnering with influencers just because they want to push their brand and create relevance over the years. As a business, if you're not constantly in people's faces, they will forget you. There's no two ways about it. And for a brand like Coca-Cola that is very iconic, they have invested over the years in content creation, in distribution, and they have a large market share, enough to take a break for 1 year in marketing and 2 years, and people will still be talking about Coca-Cola. Or not to speak of veterans, or a great veteran of the music industry like Don Jazzy. If you think of music production in Nigeria, the first thought you have is Don Jazzy. Or can you give me another name at the top of your head? That's the first person. How has he sustained relevance over the years? Marketing. He doesn't care how far he's come or how much he has achieved. When he has a new sound, he collaborates with influencers. He collaborates even with the average Instagram user to push his sound, to push his artist. He goes as far as creating challenges. I'm sure, those of us who are digitally inclined, he goes as far as creating challenges that people can jump on. Enjoyable, fun, entertaining challenges that will go viral. And when it goes viral, what happens? Everybody's talking about it, and they're saying, who is this artist? Well, he's under Don Jazzy's label. He's jumping on trends. That's another thing we're not paying attention to. When we are marketing, we're not focused on the trends. What do people want now? What are people listening to? Where are people going? What are they wearing? What do they want? What do they need? Are you creating this content or marketing strategies for yourself or for your audience? You need to listen to your audience to know what it is that they want. So that takes me to discuss various forms of marketing with you. I have a time limitation, so I'm not going to go, through all the forms of marketing. But based on my research, I'm going to focus on marketing strategies that are most effective in this era. I'll start with digital marketing. The future is digital, and any business that is not ready to leverage technological advancements is not ready to stand the test of time. If you want your business to outlive you, you have to leverage technology. And this is not even being grammatical. If you have a smartphone, if you have a mobile device, all you need to do is leverage on social media platforms that are available, search for tools online that you can use to market your business, and several sales channels that you can utilize to sell your products or services. I'm going to use myself and my brand again as an example because I don't think that teaching or lecturing is enough. If I've not experienced it, I don't think I would have earned the right to talk about marketing. 65% of my revenue every year is generated online. Pre-pandemic, we had walk-in traffic in our physical store. Well, I'm speaking of Calabar and not Abuja. So Pre-pandemic, we had walking traffic, walking patronage. Until the pandemic hit us, I would say it was catastrophic because we did not see it coming. There was silence. For someone who sells, we were used to receiving credit alerts often, every minute, but there was nothing happening. Besides the fact that we're losing loved ones, losing our neighbors, our friends. And so, during the lockdown, I noticed that a lot of businesses were putting out information, notice talking about how they were taking a break and they return when everything was over. And I remember speaking to my team and telling them that it's so debilitating and scary to send out such a message to our community. It would make them feel as though we were leaving them or we were abandoning them or we might not return. And so what we did was that we tried to keep them engaged during this period. We weren't going out of our home, but we were creating content within a small space. We were still marketing. Hello? Okay. So we were still marketing. And because of this, they didn't forget us when we returned. It was really hard for many people to make a comeback after the lockdown because they were quiet, no activity, and so many of their consumers had forgotten about them. Some were lucky, they made a return. Some were lucky that they were able to stage a comeback, and others were not. But while we were waiting, we were creating. While we were waiting, we were having ideation meetings and creating more marketing strategies so that when we launch, we would take the industry by storm. And well, to some extent, I would say we did in the niche of retail, right? And so when we came back, we wanted to come from a place that our audience had never experienced before. I mean, what use is giving people or serving people content that they have seen before? They will get bored. They will get tired. And it was such a season of silence that we needed to heighten their senses again. And so during one of our meetings, we suggested Amapiano music. I'm sure many of you here know Amapiano. I know there's a lot of Gen Z, Gen Y here. Amapiano, and we infused dance, Amapiano, and I think we used to have like very floral backdrop, which added some pizzas to the content we were creating. And honestly, from the first 2 or 3 videos, this is a testimony. The first 2 or 3 videos that we created for marketing post-lockdown, we recorded our highest sales ever in the past 5 or 6 years of our operations. We had been shipping to other countries. Thank you very much. We had been shipping to other countries before the lockdown. We had shipped to Canada, America, Australia, and Accra. But when we released those videos, my assistant is here, she remembers. When we released those videos, we were shipping to Lesotho, Tanzania, Kenya, Cape Verde, Trinidad and Tobago. Clap now. From this Cross River state that they said nothing is happening. Good for us, we had positioned ourselves online in a manner that was working for us. We had visibility. We were collaborating with brands in other states. And so when purchasing power was on the low here and walking traffic dropped, it didn't bother us. Yes, we were disturbed, but we had to keep going, right? I stress so much on digital marketing and it's good to influencer marketing. And so, influencer marketing basically is endorsements and product placements from influencers and public figures who have shown a purported level of expertise either in their different social fields or in their communities. And so these people have built a following of individuals who trust their recommendations, who trust their word. It's like a religion. I will use Pastor Komeli as an example. You know when your pastor says something, you take it with you home. That's what happens with influencer marketing. But I want to guide you. Before you invest in influencer marketing, you need to ask yourself these questions. This influencer I want to work with, does her value align with mine? Does his value align with my value? It's very important. You also need to ascertain what you're out to achieve. Are you looking for awareness or are you looking for conversions? I've heard people say, oh, I paid 200,000, I paid 100,000 to this influencer and I didn't get any returns. Does that influencer have the demographic you're looking for? Do you share the same target audience? Or do they have followers who are constantly begging for urgent 2K? I go to some influencers' pages and all I see underneath their pictures are just folks who revere them. Oh, mama, you're so good looking. Oh, papa, you are, and is that it? Is that where you're going to invest your money? How many blue ticks are you seeing under their comments? It's not about how many people are following them. What is the quality of followers? So that is key when you are investing in influencer marketing. Another is email marketing. I was just telling myself the other day that ASOS has bombarded my email with emails, my email address with mails every minute, every second of the day. And I probably haven't shopped on ASOS in a very long time. But you know what? Whenever their mails hit my address, I remember them, and I consider making a purchase. I'm sure everyone here has an email address, right? Are you sending emails to your customers, reminding them that you have new products, you have discounts available, that a product or service that they were asking for is now available? Are you utilizing your email? You don't have to pay to send an email. I'm sure you know that. Advertising. I mean, when you hear advertising, you start thinking big. No. Advertisements can come in form of billboard, TV, media, print media, or paid advertisements on social media. People are paying 3,500, 2,500, 9,000 naira to gain visibility and traffic that will in turn convert to money for them. So why wouldn't you want to invest 9,000 to get 90,000? Or 9,000 to get 109,000? As long as you're paying the right advertisement promoter, you're on track. Okay, so I'll move on to collaboration and partnerships. For me, I'm very, very big and sentimental about this. Collaboration is basically just working with someone or an organization to achieve something. I mean, even Jesus Christ, when he came to earth, he collaborated with his disciples. He didn't come to spread the gospel on his own. No, he couldn't have done it alone. And so he took with him the most unlikely men and women, and he used the most unusual circumstances to market the gospel. And so who are we? Even our Lord used this method. So what are we waiting for? So, I mean, ask yourself what you want to achieve when you are collaborating, just as you're using influencer marketing. I said before, visibility, awareness, or conventions. Lately, I've been seeing a lot of, collaborations going on over here in Nigeria that I'm so proud of. Very bold moves. One is Tiwa Savage and Mark. Who here knows about Tiwa Savage and Mark? Oh, God, you guys are falling my hand. Thank you, sister. Thank you. So, Tiwa is the first Africa mark maker. And she's a woman. And she was bold enough to do this. And that is a brand that has been enjoying patronage from Africa for so many years, and now we have it closer to us. It's now ours. We can say it's our own. This is our own product. This is MAC lipstick by an African, predominantly, or rather a Nigerian, right? Another collaboration I'm in awe of is Serena Williams and Puma. Who here knows about Serena Williams and Puma? Hey, Jesus, am I in the wrong place? No, okay, all right. Another collaboration I love so much, even though it's a bit controversial now, is Kanye West and Adidas. Okay, let me come down to Calabar. When you drive on Marian Road, you see Cold Stone Creamery and Domino's Pizza, right? That is a partnership. That is a collaboration. They are not one and the same brand. They both sat down in a room and said, what's the fastest way of selling pizza? What's the fastest way of selling ice cream? People like to have pizza and ice cream, or ice cream and pizza. And so they developed a merger, and in every city you will see Domino's Cold Stone Creamery. That is a partnership. Again, I will speak on customer service and experience. I'm sure many of us don't know that this is part of marketing, customer service. Do you know that people buy with their emotions? People patronize you with their emotions. People will always remember how you made them feel. They won't forget. So when you sell your experience, let me give you a trick, whether or not your product or well, let me not add service, because experience is service. So whether or not your product is as good as you think it is, if you give the customer an exceptional experience, he or she will return. You would blind them of how bad that product was, because you made them feel welcome. So sell the experience over the product or service. Because people will always go to where there's better service. There are not two ways about it. I was having a conversation with someone recently, and the person said, because I'm looking for a space. Oh, no, it's not the person. It's Shakara. I remember very well. Trust me. I'm not in the spirit. It's you. So I'm looking for a space in Lagos. And then he asked me during the conversation, don't you feel threatened that most of the brands that you have under your label are in Lagos? And I told him, because of how excellent we are in customer relations, because of how exceptional our marketing technique is, many in Lagos will rather shop from us than the actual brands. I have had people come to patronize us and say, well, I saw a product like this on this page, but it didn't look the way you promoted it, and I feel safer buying from you. There are no two ways about it. It's not magic, it's the truth. If you put this garment on a mannequin and I stand beside it in the same garment, you will trust me over the mannequin. It's how you promote it. So I'm not threatened. I can have someone selling the same product beside me, offering the same service. It's littered all over Lagos. You would enter a salon and the next shop is a salon, and you'd be like, how? Differential experience. Very important. I'm really trying to wrap up. I don't know if I can beat time like Pastor Komaye did. Okay, so I'll go on to merchandising. How many of us know what merchandising here is? Merchandising. Okay, so merchandising is simply presentation of products and services. How you promote how you present it. When people walk into your space, what's the aesthetics like? How did you arrange your shelves? How did you decorate the environment? That's simply what merchandising is. Indoor merchandising, outdoor merchandising. I can see some whispers there. I think I'm behind time, right? Okay, so I'm going to go PR. PR is simply consulting an agency or a firm or someone who is very informed in public relations to build an image of your brand and have people feel a certain way about you. One person who I know has really succeeded with PR in Nigeria is Vanessa Amadi. She's the one doing PR for Davido and Tiwa Savage. So she helps link them up with opportunities locally, internationally, and she has built that perception around them over the years, right? Okay, so I'm going to be very quick about this one. I promise, I really promise. There's so much. We can't talk about marketing without talking about the 4 P's in marketing: product, price, place, promotion. So what is product? Understanding you're creating your marketing strategy around the product, understanding what that product is, what that product can do over what your competitor's product can do. Place, where am I going to put my products? Is it in a luxury store? Is it in a departmental store? Is it in the market? Promotion is simply, okay, you need this product and it is priced appropriately. What did I not touch? Price is the amount that people are willing to pay for that product. And I'm very big on this. If you haven't paid for it, you can't charge it. If you cannot pay 24,000 naira for a garment, and you create a garment that is worth 24,000 naira, you won't be able to price that garment appropriately because you are not willing to spend 24,000 on another person's garment. It's psychology. So in conclusion, I'll leave you with this. Please, when you are marketing, be consistent on one thing. Be consistent on the same thing. I don't want to wake up today and hear you're doing confectionery, and tomorrow you're agro farmer, and the following day, you are confusing us. You're confusing your audience. It's okay to be multifaceted, right? So nobody is saying you can't diversify. But be known for one thing before you diversify, right? So please be consistent on one thing. And then be ready to fulfill demand.
Money, leadership, and man. Money, leadership, and man.